It's that man again, it's that man again. Yes, Mr. Boaty is here. By order of authority, he entertains the men and the queen's mother's pride and joy, Mrs. Boaty's boy. And it's useless to complain when troubles brewing. It's his doing. That man again.
Hello, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Saturday night. Saturday. Okay, now. Okay, it's going to be one of those nights. A very warm welcome to Saturday Night Live. And what a night it is, my God. I don't know what it's like where you are, darlings, but in this part of the world, the wind is howling, leaves are being blown around as if they're in a tornado. It's damp and it is so cold. It is basically, darling, a night when, speaking personally, all I want to be is couched up in a nice, warm cottage and just glad that all of that weather is outside. I hope you are all safe and warm, and I hope you've had a nice day, and I'd love you to tell me all about it. I will certainly be happy to tell you all about mine, although my day has been my day's been a bit mad, actually. Blimey. But yeah, tell me about your day, what you've been eating, how you're feeling, and anything else that you want to throw at me. We can talk about anything. We are going to once again spend the next 30 to 60 minutes waving away Saturday and welcoming in Sunday. Do not forget to go to church, chapel, or temple, or mosque, whatever or bingo, or the park, wherever you like to go on a Sunday. But above all, a very, very, very happy Dashain to all of you. And I'll drink to that. Cheers, your good health. Bottoms up yours. Totally used to the cheap stuff again now. Now then, let's dive into the comments, shall we? And first cab off the rank is Barry Scrutter. Oh, glad to have you here, mate. Good evening, everyone. He says, Father, I hear you've become a long-haired lover from Liverpool now. Yeah, but the old hair is going to be sheared off in a couple of weeks. Don't you worry about that. Boaty, which one of the Beatles would you most liken yourself to? Pete Best, I would say. Pete Best. I came within a hair's breadth of greatness, but just missed out. Jimmy Quinn is with us. Good evening, Boaty and all. Good evening, Jimmy. The lovely Amy is here. Greetings to the community. Saturday night is for dancing. Give me that night fever. We got the way to show it. Oh dear. Peter P is with us. Good evening, Boaty and Pufflings. Good evening to you. Sarah Parsons says, evening, Jason and everyone. And before you ask, I made a king prawn stir fry with oyster sauce today. Oh, fabulous. Stratosphere is with us. Good evening, all. Look, oh, hello, delayed. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's an intense gasm in the old wine storage facility. Lovely. I enjoyed that very much. Ah. And Lord Stiff Upper Lip has come up with some Wombles lyrics, but I won't sing that because I sang that last night, didn't I? Or was it the night before? They blend into each other a bit. Matron is here and says evening all. The lovely Simone is here. Hello. Hello to you, Simone. Hope you're well. Hello, good evening, and welcome to all in the chat, says Amy, plus the people who watch and listen. Come on in, it's good fun. Please remember to hit the like button. Always appreciated when you find people do that. And of course, you can send me a voice note should you wish to. And I hope you do. I love getting the voice notes, darlings. Simone is hoping to get a new video made tomorrow. She's so close to getting her payout from YouTube. Ah, right. Well, get those videos out, Simone. You should be getting a payout every month. What is it? 60 quid, isn't it? Get more videos out, my lovely. Make sure that 60 quid goes into your bank on a monthly basis. Bad Books is with us. Good evening, Bad Books. If the camera is straight, is the room on the wonk, asked Peter? But you're not on the wonk. Oh, all right. You might be slightly on the wonk. You might be very slightly on the wonk. Here we go. This is just gonna. This never ends up well. That'll do. That'll do. I'm taking that. Oh, actually, see, if I look at that one, you're fine. If I look here, yeah, you're on the wonk. How does that work then? I'm looking at that. I'm looking at you there, and you are perfectly level. Right. Only one way to solve this. The spirit level of truth, darlings. Let's have a look at you. You are 100% dead straight. 100% level. There is no wonk whatsoever. The spirit guides do not lie. Right, so that's it. Stay there, don't move. I mean, I accept that in this one here, then you look on the wonk, but honestly, on that, I've checked the camera is perfectly level. So, I mean, is the room on the wonk? Well, yes, everything in this cottage is on the wonk. Honestly, nothing matches up. There's not a straight line in the place. Everything is on the wonk, on the slope, on the heebie-jeebies. So, you know, just make the best of it. Get drunk, and then everything will be on the wonk anyway. Saturday night's all right for fucking you up, says Alan Simpson. Good evening, local community. Wet and windy here too. It's horrendous here. It's so awful. And it was cold when I got in. I've whacked the heating on, darlings. It was 18 degrees when I got in. And 18 degrees is fine in the summer. It's lovely, but in weather like this, 18 degrees feels like freezing. So I've hiked the heating up to 19.5, darlings. Here in London, says Matron, it's dry, clear, still, and chilly. Not kidding when I say I have two windows open. Phew, rather you than me. If I open the window, half a tree would blow in. Honestly, the leaves have been swirling around in the air tonight. The trees are really starting to drop now, and the wind is so bad tonight that it's just like a maelstrom of leaves. Weird to drive through. I had a lovely day, thanks, says Alan. Big family gathering in the Kingdom of Fife for my aunt's 70th birthday lunch. Well, congratulations to your aunt. She managed to achieve something that what's his name didn't. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Alex Salmond. Alex Salmond. He didn't quite make it to 70, darlings, very sadly. He unexpectedly began spending time being dead for tax purposes today on his on what yeah, he's only 69, didn't quite make it to the 70 years and 10, bless him. So, yeah. Like him or loathe him, he was a huge political figure. I'm going to raise something now. Now, obviously, I've had Radio 4 on all tonight when I've been in the car. Obviously, not in the restaurant. We have nice Nepali music playing in the restaurant, and obviously, on each news bulletin, there's been a mention of Alex Salmond passing away. Now, on each bulletin, they've said, yes, he was this, he was that, he was leader of the SNP for this, he was a memorable figure for this, that, and the other. And then every single bulletin said, and then he was accused of historical sex crimes, or words to that effect. And of all the broadcasts, only one of them said, and he was subsequently cleared of all of those charges. Right? Now, I don't think that's right. Would you agree with me? When a man dies, then I would have thought that sheer common decency, which the BBC should really be in possession of, sheer common decency would mean that you would, not highlight the. Well, maybe you would mention it. Maybe if a wrong gun dies, you would say, yeah, he was this, he was that, and he did this, and he was convicted of that. But if somebody is accused of a crime and then subsequently cleared of all of those crimes, should it be mentioned immediately after his death? They were saying all of these fine and splendid things about him, and then they were clouding the water. And as I say, only one of the bulletins specified that he'd been cleared of all of those charges. The other bulletins all just said that he'd been charged with them. And I thought that was really out of order. Really out of order. Would you agree with me there? Anyway, whatever the rights and wrongs of the situation, he has fallen off the twig. So there we are. Food today, says Amy. Lunch was a BLT, bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich, presumably. Dinner was beef olives with some steamed vegetables. The gravy was rich and thick. I do like a wet meal. Yeah, me too. Me too. So, okay, well, as you'll see in tomorrow's video, and as I promised, I've had a mad day, darlings. I decided to put all of that Roger Boaty stuff up. And so today I did a mad multitasking session. Now, I uploaded 5 videos. Now, admittedly, I didn't film those videos. They were re-uploads. But I did, because of the way that YouTube works, I did have to re-edit them. So I had to run them through the edit suite. So I had to download them, upload them to the edit suite, do the edit. Then I had to export them from the edit suite onto the iPad. And then I had to upload them from the iPad to YouTube 5 times. So I was up really quite early by my standards. And I cracked on with that. But of course, I also needed to eat. And I was determined to get it all done today. I didn't want it to run into tomorrow because I wanted a nice, peaceful day tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream. It's going to become a regular thing. I'm going to do Boaty's Sunday Lunch Live. So I wanted to get all the Roger Boatys up. But I also needed to make my Saturday brunch, and I needed to film that. So I was doing a mad multitasking while I'm uploading via 2 iPads and my laptop, doing one's uploading, one's exporting. Oh God, it was mad. And I've got a camera over there, and I'm filming the brunch. And I thought, well, this is going to be a disaster, and it so wasn't. It so wasn't. My brunch today, I'm talking about by my standards, right? Now, I'm a man who can't cook, and I particularly can't cook breakfast. Never have been able to, and I'm trying to improve. That's why I'm doing these things. You know, I promise you a meticulously planned breakfast when you come and visit me or a Saturday brunch, and I'm going to be opening a bloody Airbnb. I need to be able to cook a decent breakfast for all of these reasons, and so that I can eat one because I can't afford to go out and bloody pay 11 quid or something for a nice cooked breakfast. I have to cook it myself. So today, as I said I was going to, um, I had a go at making my own sauteed potatoes, and oh my God, they were so lush. Honestly, absolutely to die for. They were, oh, so good. And a couple of minor timing issues that I managed to work around. But, and presentation issue. It's only when I looked at the photo I thought, oh, I got that wrong. That should have been there. Basically, the bean should have been top right of the plate, and the sauce dipping bowl should have been directly underneath the beans, and they should have both been on the right of the plate, and then the rest of the plate would have worked, and it would have looked really good. So that's a lesson learned for next time, isn't it? But yeah, it all just came together. I was so pleased with it, so pleased. So let's hope that that luck continues for tomorrow when I cook my beef, darlings. As I said, I'm going to keep the beef thing going. Now, nothing as magnificent as Sean kindly sent me. This is for tomorrow. An extra lean small beef roasting joint. Done these before, they're normally excellent. Now that costs £6, but I will get 3 Sundays out of that, so that's £2 a go, which I don't think is too bad. So the plan for tomorrow, if I can get the brunch video edited and exported and uploaded, if I get out of bed at a reasonable time and I can get all of that done, then my plan is to have a full Sunday lunch live with you where I do the prep, I do the cook, and if you're up for it, I'll sit and eat with you as well. You can sit at one end of the table, I'll sit at the other, and we'll have lunch together, darlings. And if you would like to join in and make your own lunch, then by all means, please do so. We've got a voice note from the lovely Mr. Parry, so let's have a listen to that, shall we? You've been listening to me for a while. Bless you. You're very kind. Now, which one is it? Oh, are these all? Oh, right. These are all today's.
Can we please have a minute's silence? Because today we had the loss where we had to get rid of the caravan from Captain Paul's yard, which is better known as George Roger Boaty. Hope I'm pronouncing it right, ladies and gentlemen. We are so sorry to see it go.
I am.
Poor Boaty's been crying all day in his bucket.
Yeah.
And the captain is upset because he hasn't got his ship.
He's not upset.
So please spend a second and just please pray and hope that Boaty gets his motorhome to replace the Paul caravan going. Thank you. Oh, we want to be alone now the caravan's gone.
Well, we don't want to get a copyright strike, so we'll stop that one. But can I just point out, thank you, Mr. Parry. Can I just point out that, yeah, I'm a bit gutted. Mustard is delighted. He was glad to see the back of it. Absolutely delighted to see the back of it. And he's on record in his comments on his video. People are saying, oh, I'll miss it. And Mustard saying, I bloody won't. So there we are. But thank you for that, Mr. Parry. Uh, Amy says, Alan, I love a beef olive. White pudding or sausage stuffing, he asks. Food today, says Barry. Strangely, has been an argument. Oh, okay, right. Well, I can't actually read that. But Barry will be having a curry at some point, and other things have happened today. Uh, Andrew Buttygig is with us and mentions everybody by name. Oh, that's good. Delighted to hear that, Barry. Sounds like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Barry's filled his boots and he's feeling pretty good about the world and life in general. So excellent. Good man yourself. Ah. Oh, and Amy tells Alan that it was sausage, herbs, etc., with the stuffing for the olives. Oh, excuse me. Thank you, Alan. Yeah. Andrew says, I'm really enjoying the life and times of our dear departed George Roger Boaty video recap series. I told you that nobody reads the bloody description or watches the videos because there were a load of comments saying, oh, I thought you just got rid of a caravan. Why have you got another one? What do you mean the winter solstice? You're 2.5 months away from that, you great prat. But no, I wanted to do that because partly to mark Roger Boaty leaving us and leaving the community, but also, as I said last night, I'm aware that there will be newer members of the community who won't have seen those before. I've got so many videos in the back catalogue, and it's highly unlikely that anybody's going to work their way through them all. And people tend not to look back at your old videos, or certainly not to look back to 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, whenever it was we got Roger Boaty. Well, it would have been 2 years this December, wouldn't it? So, God, time flies. Time really does fly, doesn't it, my lovelies? So I'm glad I put them up there. I didn't expect them to get many views. But yeah, some people will have seen them who won't have seen them before. And that was important to me because then they get they get the full circle. They've seen the end, and now they've seen the beginning as well. God, it was funny looking at them myself. We were crazy that initial Monday. Neither of us having towed a caravan before, and we were just going to go and pick up a totally unknown quantity in the dark, and just tow it bloody 40 miles or whatever it was, 50 miles back to crazy. But anyway, that's the sort of thing I tend to do. The Equalizer is with us. Good evening, Boaty and gang. The BBC whinge about sex crime, says Carl Burton. Amazing, yeah. Hi to everybody, says Andy Donlan. Is that right, Donlan? Oh, my eyesight. We went posh today and had steak and chips. Oh, please tell me you didn't do a Stephen Paddy and have tomato ketchup with it. Please tell me you had mustard or salad or a nice sauce of some nature. But oh well, I've got beef tomorrow. I was going to say I'm jealous, but I've got beef tomorrow. Oh, that's the spirit, buddy. Determined to get your life back on track. Excellent. I agree with you, Boaty, says Amy. Oh, Ian Hully is with us. Been a bit busy, says Ian. Better late than never. Evening, peeps. Good evening to you. I've decided to forgive Boaty, says Barry, only because I'm after boarding and lodging. So, there we are. It was so good, says Matron, and I feel so privileged to have been in the caravan 3 times. Yeah. And Matron says your meticulously planned breakfast stroke brunch looked absolutely, in capital letters now, spot on, Boaty. I was really pleased with it. I got the old breakfast plate out as well because for some reason people serve them on the long narrow plates, don't they? But it was so good. It was so good. I got everything just pretty much right. But the start of the show with those sauteed potatoes, honestly, cooked in Sean's butter, oh, nicely seasoned, and I was really careful with it. Well, you'll see it all in the video tomorrow, darlings. They were so good. Honestly, they were so good. They take a breakfast to a different level. As Alan Simpson says it, they're like, breakfast chips. Something that makes it okay to effectively have chips at breakfast. But they were so much more than chips. Oh, God. Sauteed potatoes are the way forward, darlings. They are the way forward. I've been having a little think. Right. I might do this next week as an experiment. But as you'll see in the video tomorrow, and as I showed you in the live stream last night, I showed you what I was going to do. And that's exactly what I did. I took my potato, I scrubbed it, I sliced it, I left the skin on so that the slices would hopefully retain their form. I very carefully parboiled the slices for a short time, drained them, dried them off, patted them all down so they were perfectly dry. Then sauteed them in the pan, turned them frequently, kept a really close eye on them, and took them out just at the right time, drained them onto kitchen paper, seasoned them, of course, and they were just, fabulous. But what I was thinking I might do, now this might not work, or it might be a bit weird, but I thought about going smaller, taking lovely, slightly sweet new potatoes and doing it with these. So you've got tiny little, so you've got much, much smaller slices. And then doing the same sort of thing, just sauteing them, but instead of being a flat, shallow fry, as these were, you could almost stir fry them, stir saute them, so they might pick up a bit of extra caramelization around the edges. And just a thought, might be a silly one, but yeah, brunch today was good. Thank you, Matron. Alan says, it suggests the BBC potentially had some evidence against him, and he either came to blows with them or they were unhappy with the outcome of it to have brought it up. I don't know if that was the time to do it, though, to bring it up there. No, I mean, it just wasn't. Not after he'd been cleared. Yeah, I mean, some things have to be binary, don't they? And if you're cleared by law, then that's it. It shouldn't be mentioned. It's one of those areas that it's impossible to get right. I've debated and thought endlessly personally about how to solve the issue of sex-related cases, and ultimately there's no way of getting it right. There's just no way of getting it right. We've talked about this before. You talk about rape or anything like that, then the chances are that ultimately it's going to come down to one person's word against another. And who is more compelling in court, or who the jury is, or who the judge is. And there should be a way around that, but I don't think that there is. And it's quite a frightening thing. It's quite frightening to think that any one of us, we were talking about this at work the other night, actually. Anybody can just be, boom, accused of rape. And if you happen to have indulged in podgery with said person, then there's going to be there's going to be scientific evidence to prove that that podgery took place. Some form of DNA evidence, a hair left or whatever. And then if somebody is just out to get you and claims that it's rape, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult, but and this is where it becomes impossible, because you're going to be, whichever way you go with it, you're going to be unfair to one of the two parties. If you set the bar high, then there will be people who are raped or abused or whatever, and they won't report it for fear of not being taken seriously or whatever. And that's the way things have been in the past. But then if you go the other way, and there's an almost automatic presumption that the victim is telling the truth, then that's obviously unfair on the person that's accused, because it's almost impossible to prove your innocence. And the obvious case that's going to spring to most people's minds, certainly springs to mine, is Mike Tyson. Like many people, I don't believe for 1 second that Mike Tyson raped Desiree Washington. And that is as far as I understand it, that is the general consensus. But he went down for it. He is and always will be a convicted rapist. And where do you go with that? Where do you go with that? It's a circle that can't be squared, isn't it? It's just always going to be unfair on somebody. And I can't think of a way out of it. Why are we talking about that? Oh, because of because of old Alex Salmond, isn't it? There we are. Excuse me. Your breakfast looked beautiful, says Alan, and I applaud the homemade sautés. I love a sauté potato. Yeah, I was really chuffed with it. That time Boaty gave me a sly wink I've never forgotten, says Barry. That's a big joint, says Andrew. A gentle reminder, says Andrew. Boaty, can you pleasure Sean's box with your special pounding skills? I can and I will. I can and I will. Let's take a pound. Bloody hell. It's scary, isn't it? January will be here before you know it. Oh, it's getting heavier. It's getting heavier, darling. There's the box. Put's call. There's the pound. It's a real one. And India pop. The really exciting moment is when the box is full and I can't pound the box. There's literally no room for me to pound it. That really will be a moment to look forward to. Probably a little while off yet, isn't it? I saw the caravan videos had been posted, says Alan, but haven't watched them. After all the optimism that he might be kept, I'm sad it's gone. Yeah, me too. Me too. But it was an unfair situation. Like I said, we went into it with all of the best intentions, and Pingu was an absolute darling for making it happen. But it ended up with Mustard being lumbered with something effectively, and it was just a bit unfair, and it needed to go. It did need to go, especially obviously with the landlord reclaiming his space and whatnot. So it'll be. Bear with. Right, there we are. There we are. What was I saying? Oh, we were talking about the caravan, weren't we? So, yeah, it's Mustard needs to just get back to. He needs to get back to the yard just being his with his stuff in it, and then he can stand and fall. Hopefully, stand rather than fall on his own two feet. It's so if he doesn't make a living out of the yard, then there's nobody and nothing else to blame, kind of thing. So he needs that. He needs that fresh, clear drawing board, so that he can do what he wants to do without being hampered by anybody or anything else. Hopefully, Tom will pull his finger out and get his car bloody moved. Although I've got a strong suspicion that that's not going to happen. But there we are. There we are. And yeah, the way forward with the community thing, the best way forward is to make a camper or motorhome project happen, and I will do one way or another. You know, you never know what's going to happen over this winter, do you, darlings? The Airbnbs might kick in. I might start making money. YouTube might suddenly kick in. I might start making money there. Might get a member or two of the fleet sold, and we can pick up some kind of campery motorhomey thing for 2 or 3 grand that can be a project, and it can be a community, a mobile community base. So because I'm really going to miss the lunches. Of all of the videos that I've ever done, the lowest figures were by far, the lowest viewing figures were Boaty's notches. That's why I had to stop doing them, because they were a couple of people liked them and were sad that they went, but the views were so low that the algorithm was screwing me up on everything else. Oh, what was that? Oh. Do you do an all-you-can-eat menu? If so, can you share it with me? Yeah, no, we don't. We don't do an all-you-can-eat menu. We're a fine dining restaurant, not somewhere to go to Claycross. They do one on a Sunday. I can't be doing with that. All you can eat. What a dreadful idea. Dreadful idea. I've forgotten what I was talking about now. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So campus away forward. That will be a next year thing, darlings. We'll just have to wait for Roger Boaty 2, says Peter Peep. And there will be a Roger Boaty 2. A big day here, says Andrew, for the fans of the motor racing doings. Oh, it's the Bathurst 1000. Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard. I've heard all about that. It's a kickoff between 2 of the manufacturers normally, isn't it? And I can't remember which 2 they are. After many years, says Bad Books, I stopped listening to and watching the BBC. Totally biased in my humble opinion. Well, they bloody were tonight. I watched the videos on Roger Boaty Says Barry. The clue in the first video was the leaves off the trees. You wouldn't say that if you saw around here tonight. My God. The winds are so wild tonight that I think the trees have dropped earlier because suddenly there's a carpet of leaves everywhere. You can certainly tell the difference in filming quality, says Andrew. Did you use potato cam in the early days, Boaty? I don't know what I'd have been using, but I was probably filming on. I would have been actually. I would have been filming on a knackered old iPhone 6 then. So I was amazed actually that it was watchable at all. But yeah, I mean the filming quality is shit. The editing is absolutely dreadful. Everything's really amateurish and rubbish and but you know, so in one way I looked at it and just kept thinking how dreadful it all was. But then in another way, I'd only been doing it for a few weeks or a couple of months effectively. And on that basis it wasn't too bad. You could see that I sort of knew what I wanted to do or what I was trying to do. I just hadn't learned the techniques and I didn't have the equipment. I didn't have the filming equipment and I didn't have the editing equipment to make it much better than it was. But hey ho. Where's Emma tonight? Asked Amy. Partying or sleeping? I don't know, Amy, is the answer to that, but I would imagine sleeping rather than partying. Skick is here. Evening, Skick. Boxing is over. Yeah, big fight tonight, and I don't get as enthused about the lower weight divisions as I do about the heavyweights. But and tonight's fight was a fight for the cognoscente rather than a mass audience. So the insiders have been terribly excited about it, but it hasn't made so many ripples for the casual fans. But the boxing is over, says Skick, and Better Behave edged the win. Did it go the distance, Skick, or was it a stoppage? I'll catch up on it tomorrow when I watch it tomorrow. Bad Books had tuna mayo sandwiches for dinner and ribeye steak butty for tea. Well, that confuses me. I presume by dinner you mean lunch, because you wouldn't have dinner and tea, because tea's at like 4:30 or 5, and then dinner's at 7:30 or 8. So I presume by dinner you mean lunch. We all have these different terms for it, don't we? Dinner, 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 Batman. I've got a few dribbles left over in various bottles. So on the subject of food, I am looking forward to another lovely beef lunch tomorrow. I will make roast potatoes. I've got fresh green beans, darling. A nice shallot that I will roast. It's onion time, and that's shallot. Yorkshire pudding, of course. What would beef be without Yorkshire pudding? Let's get the last dribble out of this bottle and then we can dispose of all of those. I end up with little dribbles in the bottom, darlings. Can't quite finish the bottle before I go to bed, despite my best efforts. Speaking of bed, I'm looking forward to mine tonight. I'm knackered again. 2 mornings I've got up earlier than I would ideally. Lovely. Barry says, who thinks Mustard should narrate BBC programmes on the universe? Having previously said that that recently he's watched Mark Cox and both Space and Universe videos. iPlayer is so good, and yet the whole thing would have been much more tolerable if Mustard had presented the whole lot. Mark Cox, I don't know Mark Cox. You don't mean Brian Cox, do you? If you do, then I would agree that Brian Cox doesn't really have the voice for it. Oh, and Matron says that she believes that the M11 is sleeping, and I hope she's having a really good kip. The lovely Karen is with us. Hello, Karen. And says, Barry is on his way to Kansas City as we speak. He's clicked his heels together 3 times. Sorry, that's an obvious joke to do, isn't it? But, it's always nice to have Karen here under her own colours, under her own flag. And do wish Barry a safe journey from all of us. Andy Donlan has got back to us. We had peppercorn sauce, Boaty. Thank God for that. Thank goodness for that. Now, there's going to be steak on my channel, darlings, possibly. I'm still planning to do the steak Wednesdays, but we'll see. That's going to depend on the state of the old pocket on a Tuesday night. But I want to do more cooking stuff. I love doing cooking stuff. It encourages me to try a bit harder. And I just really enjoy food. And I think I enjoy it because I don't know what I'm doing. Because, I learned to enjoy good food, and I learned to differentiate really good food from, just comfort food or food that your mother made or whatever. And now I'm kind of trying a bit late in life, because let's face it, I'm on the back 9, aren't I, of the golf course of my life. And for the past few years, I've just been trying to learn how to make stuff I couldn't make before, or learn how to make stuff better than I was able to make it before. And I love doing it. And yeah, I'm so tempted to do more videos about it, but I'm not sure I don't know what people want to watch me for anyway. So I don't know if cooking would put them off or not. So we'll see how tomorrow's video does. Tomorrow's video being today's, the Saturday brunch thing. So I really did try today, my loves, in my own amateurish, cack-handed, old-fartish way. I really did try today, and I can see the bit of it. Presentation is mostly what went wrong. If you gave me that plate now, I was multitasking. I've got the tables full of crap. I'm desperately trying to get these videos up, and I'm trying to do all of that cooking, and I'm trying not to ruin the potatoes. Now, give me that plate again, and I could make it look a lot better. Simply by how and where you put the stuff on the plate makes all the difference in the world. You could make a meal look fantastic, even though it would taste like absolute shit. And the same is true again. You can make a meal look like absolute crap, and yet it would taste utterly fantastic. But I'd love to be doing 3 or 4 cooking videos a week, but maybe that's too much. But we'll carry on with the Saturday brunch until I get bored of that. I'd like to do Steak Wednesday, if I can afford steak. Oh, and what was the other idea we had the other night? Yeah, I'd like to do the budget day. One day I'd like to do meals for £1 or less. And we can have a good old play about with that. Sorry, I'm just going to do that. The video doesn't have to be all about that. I can put some other stuff in as well, can't I? A bit of hot front parlour action with the Bee Gees, that sort of thing, a few cutaways. And then do a Sunday lunch live. I like the idea of that as well. And I'll tell you why I like that idea. To me, Sunday lunch should be a shared experience. Now, I make an effort for my Sunday lunches because Sunday lunch is an important thing to me. But it's not the same when you don't share it. To me, Sunday lunch, I'm very Mediterranean. I'm very European in many ways. I've lived all around Europe. Um, and I think in many ways, certainly, I think in the Mediterranean, I think they've just got it right in so many ways with their diet, and this was an interesting thing as well. Somebody was talking on the radio about the Mediterranean diet and how it's supposed to be amazing for your health. And they came up with the idea, which makes perfect sense to me, that it's not just about the food. The Mediterranean diet, and the reason why, because if you think about it, right, and this is why people bang on about the Mediterranean diet and all of that. If you look at life expectancies, then France, Italy, Mediterranean regions, they have the longest life expectancies, far longer than here in the UK. And yet, they all smoke, all of them, continually. And yet, they've got really good life expectancies. And people are saying it's because of the diet. It's not just because of the diet, this person was saying. And I agree. Having lived in these places, spent time there, it's because they prioritize food, they make it into a social occasion, and they share it with friends and family. If you've ever been to an Italian family for a Sunday lunch, you have the whole extended family around a massive table, and it's the most convivial and wonderful day. Yeah, the food is great, but it's also about the relaxation, the laughter, the company. And I'm a strong believer that all of that sort of thing can and does affect your physical health. It's it's one of the areas where in the UK we've got it wrong. You know, eating your TV dinner off your lap in front of the television. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Meet up with friends, with family, have a dinner occasion or a lunch occasion, or why not a breakfast occasion, and make it into an occasion. Make good food and enjoy it with people. And it's much better for your physical and your mental health. And that's the way I feel about food. Always have done. My favourite things when I was married or partnered up were the dinner parties, sharing food and friends, and a social occasion with wine and great food and laughter and friends. That's what enriches your life. That's what keeps you fit and healthy and emotionally healthy and excited. And so I always make an effort for Sunday dinner because it's Sunday lunch, because it's an important thing to me. And it's not the same when I just sit here and eat it on my own. I'm used to, for all of those years, I would prepare the Sunday lunch at a busy house with the wife and the kids and in laws and friends all milling around the house. And people would be having drinks and all of that. And it would be an amazing atmosphere. Um, and that's what I miss. So I thought if I turn Sundays into a live stream, I can get that back because I can share it with you guys. See, it's a selfish thing, really. It's all about me. You might think, oh, look at Boaty giving up his time on a Sunday to do a live stream for us so we can ignore him and chat in the comments. It's not selfish, not entirely it's not unselfish, I mean, or not entirely unselfish. I want the company. In an ideal world, I would love some of you guys to come round and be here, and I'll give you a glass of wine, and I'll cook the lunch, and we'll have a laugh and all of that sort of thing. But there we are. A live stream is the next best thing. Anyway, time has marched on. So probably time to start saying your good night. Only just started and it's time to say good night. These ones are tricky. Friday and Saturday are tricky. Um, I recognise that I'm not on the same form as I am on the others. I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm kind of looking at the clock. And thinking about supper and getting a shower and getting to bed and thinking about getting up the next day. And I tried not doing them, but they're too important to me. Um, I can't not do them because I value this time. And when I didn't do them, I felt worse for having not done them because this is what means the world to me, makes a difference to me. And as tired as I am, so don't think that I don't want to be here because I assure you I definitely do. But I do know that I'm tired and I'm probably not quite as sparkling as I am on other nights. But tomorrow night we're back to 11 o'clock. That half an hour makes all the difference, darling. So we'll have a wonderful night tomorrow, and it's been a good night tonight. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. But it's coming to an end. We've got what have we got? 4 minutes left. So start saying good night, and I'll think about the curry that I'm about to eat. Get into my God, it is wild out there. I can hear the wind. There's a chimney here, darlings. I've got two chimneys here at Windybum. I've got one here, and there's one in the front parlour. Because if you didn't realise, then if you look at the row of cottages, there are 5 cottages in the row, and I'm the one in the middle. And if you look, mine is twice the size of all the others because it used to be a row of 6 cottages, 6 humble, tiny, small, 2 up, 2 downs. And my cottage is 2 of those, the middle 2 knocked into one, which is why mine looks double the size of the others. Now, the others, they've all extended that way. They've lost their yard and they've extended that way to get an extra room. But there was no need to do that with this one. It was 2 knocked into one. So although it's still kind of a 2 up, 2 down, downstairs here at Windybum, there's only the 2 rooms. It's a typical humble cottage arrangement. The front door opens straight into the front parlour. The back door opens here into the kitchen, but the rooms are double the size that they would have been, so they're a good old size. But that's why I've got 2 chimneys. And although they've been blocked in, the wind still howls down the chimney, and you can hear that noise. And the cottage, it's like a living, sentient thing when it's windy, and it's almost always windy here because the cottage talks to you. The wind just makes noises here, there, and everywhere. And I love that, actually. I love that. You don't get that in a modern house. And I hate that. When I was married, I lived in a beautiful detached house with a ridiculous number of bedrooms and a ridiculous number of garages and all of that. But it had no soul. It was built by people who didn't care. It had no history. And it was just boring. And it was on a wannabe upper middle class where everybody, they had to have the right car and they had to mow their lawn. Oh, I can't be doing with any of that. They looked askance at me, the people around there, and I looked askance back at them. I thought they were the most horrendous, awful bastards. All of the people who lived around us, I didn't get on with a single one of them, apart from one. The rest of them, I hated them all. Absolutely hated them all. You couldn't do that overtly, of course. You know, you had to be polite. You had to be all upper middle class about it. Fucking hated them. Hated their houses. Hated their petty ways. hated the fact that because they'd managed to get a few quid together, they thought they were something special, and oh God, don't get me started. The aspirational middle class, darlings, to be avoided at all costs. Upper class people are brilliant. Working class people are brilliant. The aspirational middle class, bunch of wankers, every single one of them. Sorry. Right, let's bring this to a close. Come on, comments. Diddly do. Diddly do. Simone's feeling better, hoping to get some filming done. Skick is telling Simone how much he admires her. Barry's saying some nice things about me, which is very kind. Barry and I had a minor fallout, and I'm delighted that the fallout has fallen back in, and it's lovely to see him back here where he belongs. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. It's like an episode of Mastermind, says Ian. Both his specialised subjects, Spuds, and his experience dealing with chips at the casino. Oh dear. Barry did show me a channel he found you might like, Boaty. Mines and Man Caves. Ah. Rampant pottering in the UK entertainment industry, says Andrew. Here it's drugs and racism. God, he's going to need a bit of bigger box, says Peter. No, I haven't found a bees pound coin yet, Simone. You were very lucky. Oh dear. Simone's off to bed. We all should be off to bed. Question, says Amy. What is the one inanimate object would you take with you out of your burning home? Mine would be our handmade family quilt. Packet of fags and a lighter. Honestly. Yeah. Oh, but there are much better answers than mine. Buy an old ambulance and convert it. Far cheaper. Nah. If me and Boaty had a fight, who would you put your money on? Well, that's not a fair question, Barry. They've seen me, they haven't seen you. I've seen you. We've met in real life, and it was a very pleasant meeting indeed. But, well, you're younger than me. You're younger than me, and I'm a lover, not a fighter these days. So if they've got any sense, they'd put their money on you. Alan Hart is here. Hello from Italy. We're enjoying Herbie Pizza. My wife is looking forward to the dildo. Dildo. And I'm looking forward to ice cream. Oh dear. Boaty, says Simone. What on the restaurant menu would you not eat? That is a really good question, Simone, and I'm going to give you an honest answer. Now, obviously, you're talking about on my restaurant menu. Well, if I was hungry, starving to death, I would eat anything on it. So I'm going to rephrase your question very slightly, if I may. And I'm going to rephrase the question to on my restaurant on the restaurant menu, what would I not choose to eat? Okay, so what would I not choose to eat on the restaurant menu? And the answer is almost all of it. There is very little on the restaurant menu that we ourselves actually eat. Probably count it on the fingers of one hand. So on the menu, we would eat rice because rice is rice, right? So and we would eat the steamed white rice normally. Uh, Other than that, momo, sekwa, choila, and that's about it. There's about 150 items on our menu, and that is about it. Because at the end of the day, we're a business, and we have to sell food and make money from it. And we are a business that's based in the UK, so we have to cater to UK palates. Quite rightly, that makes sense, doesn't it? And virtually everything on the menu is either specifically designed for or heavily tweaked for the UK palate. So obviously, none of us, you're never going to see us eating tikka masala or korma or anything like that. Um, you're virtually never going to see us eating a naan bread. We have to eat this for you guys. An Indian or a Nepali or a whatever it is treat. It's just that, a treat. For us, it's everyday food, and it, the food is fine as a treat. But I'm trying to say, whoever's ringing, I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to clear. In fact, I should stop answering this question. So I've kind of answered that question, I think. There's very little on the restaurant menu that I would choose to eat. Momo, definitely. Rice, yes. Rajma. I do like rajma, and we do eat that. But nobody ever orders that in the restaurant. Nobody ever orders rajma, which is a shame. Really nice dish. Choila is fantastic. Sekwa is amazing, and that's about your lot. Okay. Oh, it's Ford versus Holden, says Karen. I watch it with me husband. There we are. It went the distance, says Kick. The boxing, very close. I imagine it would be. I thought it would go the distance, to be honest. And I did think Beterbiev would, assuming it went the distance, I thought it'd take it. But I look forward to watching that. Dinner is at 12 p.m., says Bad Books, and tea is at 6 p.m.-ish. Blimey. Lamb shank tomorrow, says Barry Scrotter, and some more antics, I hope. Fingers crossed for you, mate. And I'm just going to whiz through these and bugger off, quite honestly. I find cooking is a great stress reliever, says Cannon. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm honestly rubbish at cooking a roast dinner, says Simone. I would love a roast lamb. Well, it's practice, isn't it? It's making an effort and it's practice. Boaty, I'm sure food placement is Freudian, says Barry. Probably is. I mean, if you subscribe to Freud, then most things are Freudian. True about the Mediterranean diet, says Andrew. My dad's mum lived to 99. We grow all of our own vegetables here, says Karen. Barry says, I'm actually thinking I might go abroad in a few years. The weather in Italy is sublime, and so are the surroundings. UK cities and the people are killers. I adore Italy. I finished my career racing for an Italian team. I love the Italian language. I love the food. I love the people, and I love the joie de vivre. Although that's obviously a French phrase. Uh, I like the way of life. I could very happily live in Italy. Oh, Colette Abdul is with us. Hello, Boaty. I join you from a rather cold and rather miserable Bedfordshire area. Well, good evening. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. And she goes on. The older houses and properties are just much better. I agree. These so called new houses, no way. I would rather live on a motorhome or a barn. And I agree with that as well. Totally agree with that. I would quite happily have an older property as these new places are built fast with people that only have the, yeah, they're just awful. They're really badly built. And yeah, oh, Colette, lovely. My close friend Dan Peters recommended me to this channel, and I very much thank him for this. Oh, well, that's very kind. Lovely to have you with us. And I'm just going to skim through these because I think we all need to bugger off, don't we? Ah. Right then, darlings. Okay. I apologize for skimming through those comments. It's 1:45 in the morning. I am knackered. And I'm sure that a lot of you are. I've been at work tonight. Kind of, I need to get a shower, get something to eat, and just get my ass to sleep. But there are some really good comments in there. Please bang them again in tomorrow night. We'll be a bit earlier tomorrow night, and it would be a shame for them to go to waste. So yeah, if I didn't get round to one of your comments or whatever, then just hold it over, chuck it into tomorrow night, and we will run it up the old flagpole. But I really do need to bugger off. So I'm going to do a quick good night, unusually for me. So okay, I have love tonight. Thank you so much for that. There will be there should be, depending on how tomorrow morning goes. Keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully there will be a lunchtime live stream tomorrow if everything goes according to plan. It'll probably be at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, something like that. So if you'd like to join me for a Sunday lunch experience where we, I don't know, just ask around, maybe prepare a bit of lunch, eat a bit of lunch together. If you fancy that, any of you, 2 or 3 people, that would be great. If it doesn't happen because tomorrow morning goes badly, I apologize. But I will definitely be here tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, slightly earlier, Sunday Night Live. And you will definitely have the Saturday brunch video coming at you tomorrow. So, on that note, please have a safe and peaceful night. Stay warm, stay dry. The weather's awful out there. Hope you can afford to have your central heating on at a decent level. And I hope you have a lovely Sunday tomorrow, doing whatever it is that you have to do or choose to do. But take really good care of yourselves. Take great care of those who you love or who love you. And if you can, join me tomorrow. Lunchtime, possibly the video or tomorrow night, Sunday Night Live, 11 o'clock. Hopefully see you then, but thank you so much for joining me tonight. And the candle will be relit tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. And on that note, chew and indeed, don't forget to go to chapel. Bosh.